Hey YouTube, and welcome to another episode of Charity Unscripted. Happy Tuesday, y'all. How you doing? How your mom and them doing? All of the good things. Like, we're back. we're back. Today's video episode is a little bit on the serious side. Just a smidge. We're gonna talk about a serious topic. We're not gonna be unserious today. We're gonna be serious. So yes, today's video, as you can see by the title, is the treatment of Black women on reality TV. Now, this video idea came to me while watching Love Island season 7. Me and my sister have already made a video for that. Y'all check that out if you haven't seen it. And because the way I watched the internet attack these two women, like they weren't humans. I saw black people, white people. I saw people of every color making anti-black statements, doing crazy things on all the social platforms, not just Instagram, not just TikTok, like Twitter, like even on threads. And nobody deserves to get death threats. Nobody deserves to get their family attacked. Nobody deserves all the things they said about Chelly and Olandria in this season. Nobody deserves. And it made me sit back and think, there's something a little different happening with the hate that my clients, Chelly and Olandria, are receiving, and the conversations we're having about the other women that are on the island. Huda. Now, the Huda defenders, before y'all come for me, I really don't have no problem with Huda. This isn't a my race versus her race, black people versus whatever. But what I will say is, if I don't defend my sisters, my black sisters, then nobody else will. If I don't defend not just black women, but if I don't just defend my people, black people, then nobody else will. That's just a fact. I'm sorry. I don't have nothing against Huda. I'm glad Huda has been reunited with her daughter. I'm glad Huda, like I said in the Love Island review video, I think Huda always means well. It just doesn't correlate. Now, one thing I will say about Huda, after her Call Her Daddy interview, I just think that Huda got out the villa and saw that she had all these people excusing her behavior. She just took it and ran with it. That's all I gotta say about that. I'm not trying to downplay her life as a mother. I'm not trying to downplay her as a person. I'm not trying to go race for race, ethnicity for ethnicity, but that's just how I feel. Now, in this video, I will be talking about a number of shows, not just Love Island, because it's the treatment of Black women on reality TV. I will not talk about every reality show, every creator, or every injustice on reality TV, but I will talk about the ones that I feel are relevant to, not just to Love Island, but just relevant. So, we will start this video off with Love Island Season 7 because that's what's been in the news the past 8 weeks. First things first. Chelly versus Huda. Now, Chelly received a lot of hate because of a disagreement she had with Huda. The hate continued when Huda said she didn't want to talk to Huda right after what the situation happened. The disagreement was that Huda was doing too much with Chelly's coupled up person, Ace, during a challenge. The person that Chelly was with and still is with. The reason everyone was saying Chelly was doing too much is because during the same challenge, she was a sprinkle outside with, her other connection, Chris. Do I think Chelly was doing a wee bit too much? Maybe a sprinkle. Do I think the way the editors edited the video aided in the hate against Chelly? Yes. But because we do later find out that Huda essentially set on Ace's face. Now, Huda in her Call Her Daddy interview said she didn't do that. Amaya in her Call Her Daddy interview, if I'm not mistaken, said that Huda didn't do that. But everyone else, Taylor and Clark, in their interview said that happened. Somebody else that was there said that she pretty much did that. Pretty much that on Ace's face. I can put in the clip.
His face a little bit with that ass. Were those ass cheeks a little round his?
No, I think that's too far. Like, that's a no-go. My butt, I think, was like on his stomach area, like this area right here.
Okay.
And I was twerking. And it was like 2 seconds too. I went da-da-da, and I got up. I'm so dead ass.
So there were no cheeks suffocating?
No.
No, I know. Like, what was the craziest thing? Like, everyone heard that Huda sat on Ace's face.
Yeah.
Which, like, kind of paints a better picture of why Chelly was so pissed.
Yeah. Kind of felt like it is just a challenge, but I also kind of felt like I understand where Chelly's coming from, and I understand like why she'd be like annoyed about that.
Totally.
Because I think like everyone, it's hard because it's like these are the things you don't talk about when you're in the villa. Like when we're sitting down, we're not like, hey guys, let's not work on our face tonight.
Hey guys, if it escalates to a point where you're flipping around,
it's
doing
working on my man's face. Like, you know.
Oh, did we miss something that maybe happened, like that they're getting so upset about? What did you guys feel like she went too far? Huda went too far there?
You're damn right she did. Like, listen, bro, when I tell y'all Huda did
her biggest one.
Yeah,
she did.
She did her biggest on Ace. Like,
can I ask, people online were like, she must have like sat on his face. Did that happen?
Damn near.
Get too far. Chelly was just like, when you put it in the terms of if Chelly did that to Jeremiah, Huda would have blew up. Like, she would have combusted. Literally. Iris came in the villa, Huda combusted. Hurricane Huda. She got that name. So I think if Chelly did the same thing to Jeremiah, you put it in those terms, I really don't think Chelly did enough. I don't know. I really don't. But then in the next episode, Chelly is like, oh, you know, I'm ready to talk now. I was kind of already irritated. And I mean, well, in her right. They don't get like 2-3 hours of sleep each night. I would be irritated the second I wake to the second I go back to sleep. So I just think that, you know, I do think Chelly was doing a wee bit too much. I do think the editors aided in all this hate and all this ridiculousness for Chelly. But I do think Huda was a wee bit in the wrong, just a sprinkle. Especially you put it in the terms of if Chelly did that to Huda with Jeremiah, it just would have been over. BuzzFeed versus Chelly. Now, BuzzFeed and BuzzFeed Tasty, social media pages posted a series of images that was like what each Allender deserves for breakfast. When you get to Chelly's slide, it says that she deserves a knuckle sandwich. It said goldfish for Ace if he gets fussy. So not only was Chelly attacked publicly, but Ace also caught a stray. Like, right. Of course, BuzzFeed went on to remove this post after their huge backlash they received. It took them a full day to make an apology, and then the apology was terrible. I have the screenshot. And I have the screenshot of the original post. Their apology was a story post, not a main post. Now they attacked her. Now they embarrassed her, attacked her on the main post, but the apology was on the story. Right. My thing is, like, how does that even get passed? It don't matter. It didn't even matter if Chelly was black, white, whatever. A knuckle sandwich. What? That don't match. Like, that's not right. Whether if it was a man, if it was a woman, white, black, other, like, that is rude. That's rude. You're threatening me. Like, you're literally threatening me. I think that's crazy that all of this was happening while Chelly was in the villa. Like, she couldn't even defend herself. Her team had to make a statement about what happened. I don't think I have the screenshot from that. I might look for it. But I'm just like, why are y'all attacking this woman? I hope Chelly sues BuzzFeed. That's insane. That is a threat. I hope Chelly sues BuzzFeed, and I hope that she wins. I feel like she would. Like, That's unnecessary. Now, just the regular Chelly and Olandria hate. We're talking about that. You know, I got everything in sections. So right now we're just talking about their hate overall. Chelly was attacked because of how she handled the Huda thing, and Olandria was attacked over how she handled the Taylor thing. They received hate comments, people attacking their looks.
You're not very pretty, and you're not very bright. I'm so glad we had that talk.
Their connections. But I think the worst thing that I saw to this day, actually, I think the worst thing that I have seen pertaining to the hate, and probably the worst thing that could ever happen, somebody edited Olandria's face on George Floyd and edited Huda's face on the officer that killed George Floyd now. I will not be showing that picture. I will not be showing that tweet. I think the whole situation is disgusting. Whoever posted that tweet, whoever took the time to find the picture of George Floyd dying and edited Olandria and Huda's faces on the people in that image are disgusting. You sat in front of your laptop, your cell phone, your desktop, and edited and took such a horrible time in his family's life, America's life, Black America's life. Like, that is a terrible time for all parties involved. And you posted it, and it's still up. It's still on Twitter. And it's unfortunate because Olandria, I don't think Olandria didn't say she saw the photo, but she said she heard about it in an interview. She was talking about how she was getting death threats. Her family was getting death threats. She stated how she was confused about how a show about love became so hurtful. And that's another thing. Every day I would wake up, open up my apps, open up Instagram and TikTok, and see these wild think pieces about Chelly and Olandria and how they're just this and how they're just mean girls and how they're not girls and how they're this and how they're that.
It's Olandria and Chelly.
And this is a show about love, about coming on a show and trying to find your connection, trying to find your forever. And y'all are attacking looks, families, death threats, making terrible memes, doing this and that and the third, like taking conversations out of context. I have yet to see a week as anti-Black as the week during the finale. The finale came out on a Sunday. That whole week leading up to the finale was the most anti-Black week I've ever seen in my entire life on social media. It was on Twitter. It was on Threads. It was on Instagram. It was on YouTube even. It really was a really hard time. Like, it's depressing stuff. People are attacking Black women just like me because they're dark skinned, because they're this, because they're that. Chelly and Olandria went on Keke Palmer's podcast today, in fact. Well, they were on there, but the episode got released today. And they stated how they feel they had to act a certain way because of their race and how they were afraid America would see them. Now, Black women on reality TV can't even be themselves 100% because of how they think America is going to react to them. I'm not even just going to say America. Love Island was international. I mean, people all over were talking about it. So I just think I can't even be myself. Like, I can't even dive into the experience 100% because in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, I got to make sure I'm on my P's and Q's. I got to make sure I don't get the angry Black woman edit. I got to make sure I don't get this, I don't get that. And Chelly still got the villain edit. After everything, people on the Love Island cast that are doing interviews now said Chelly cried the most. But who cried the most this season? Amaya Papaya. So they edited out all of this stuff. They said Chelly cried the most. I didn't see that. I saw Amaya crying the most. No hate to Amaya. I also want to say that I do think that Chelly and Olandria were mammyfied. Now, I understand that term might get a few of y'all lost, and I'm gonna explain. Mammy is a stereotype, and it's known as a black woman. Well, I'm gonna say it's now become a stereotype. I don't know if people actually call their children's nannies and slaves mammies or not. I'm not 100%, but I do think it's true. She did domestic work. She cooked, she cleaned, she took care of the kids, she took care of her kids, she took care of her white boss's kids. This is the history on Mammy. Mammy had to take care of everyone. Like, that's what the stereotype is for. She had to take care of everyone. She had to push down her feelings. I'm gonna have pictures and charts further explaining everything. Okay, laptop acting up. That shows up in this season. The stereotype of Mammy's always seen as the peacemaker. They're always expected to be the peacemaker. Like, that's shown in this season. They're calming down the drama. They're comforting others. They're being emotional support for other contestants. And even when they're getting attacked, they still have to, try and make peace and do this, that, and the third. They're not prioritizing their love stories, because one thing about Mammy is that she's desexualized because she's supposed to be this nanny mother role. She's supposed to be this big mama role. She's not sexy. She's a mother. She's covered. So they weren't seen as the main love interest. I think Huda, I think I have, there's a video, I might add it in there just to further explain. But I do think Huda aided aided in the mammification of Olandria and Chelly. Just because I don't think these women on this show thought Chelly and Olandria were desirable. Sierra, for example, Sierra was happy that Nick chose to explore with Olandria, but why are you happy that it was her? Because that was your friend, or because you didn't think she was desirable? And even again, after the villa, Sierra's posting all this weird stuff. Sierra, she's just lost. I don't know. Their romantic potential was underplayed, ignored. They had loyalty for others. They had to care for others. They couldn't even worry about their own. Olandria couldn't worry about her own connection, spark, because of she worried about Sierra. Then they're held to a higher standard when they show frustration. It's seen that's too much. They're doing too much. Chelly, Olandria, when she was attacking Taylor in the Stand Your Business, and they said the Stand Your Business challenge was 6 hours, 6-7 hours. What we doing all this talking for? How much business we gonna stand on? It's just a lot of stuff is misplaced out of the editing. When we come to the reunion, or maybe I need the show to just do all the unseen bits that are important to the storyline. On the Keke Palmer episode, they do talk about this a bit, but they don't use the word mammy or mammification. Olandria does say she feel like she had to cater to people on the show, and she was playing their mother, the mother role. I'm paraphrasing, but she was saying, why am I being seen as the villain, where when I'm leaving, when she got voted off, she wasn't voted off. She got kicked off during Casa. She wasn't voted off. She was just like, everybody was crying. Like, I was the peacemaker. I was the mother role. She said that.
When I got out, I'm like, oh, so Chelly's a mean girl? Like, I was so thrown off by that, because like she said, we were the go-to people. Hence why they acted the way they did when I got released from Casa. I'm like, if I was such a mean girl, why is these girls crying over me? Like, all of them. I'm the glue. I'm the mother. I'm all these things, but I'm a mean girl. Like, come on now. That's when you should check yourself. Like, you know what? What they're showing us is not exactly. Thank you. We were not mean girls. So please, let's clear that narrative up right now.
Let's see if I can add that clip in here. But that's mammification. Hair and makeup. Again, so many anti-black videos and statements about Chelly and Olandria's hair. People were saying they couldn't wait for them to get out that villa, take them braids out their hair, saying their concealer doesn't match their face, this and that and the third. Now, They were in Fiji for 6 weeks. They were OGs. They were in Fiji the whole time. Of course, they're going to get a bit darker than when they came in. Their concealer might not match to y'all standards. I think the bright under eye was tea, and it is trending right now. Not just in black makeup spaces, but in white makeup spaces too. A bright under eye that is in right now. But people talking about all of this about their makeup, all of this in the third, y'all. It was too much. I don't even want to get into it. It's ridiculous. But Chelly at the villa, she got a quick weave. I saw the video. It's real cute. And her hair is very long. It like blends right into the quick weave. And I think Olandria got a sew-in. But these Huda defenders are saying they just couldn't wait to get out the villa and put straight hair into their hair to look like Huda. I don't know if everyone is just delusional. I don't know if everyone is just living in a life of delusional ditzy mentality, but Huda's natural hair texture is wavy. Them both having a straight quick weave, straight sew-in, straight bundles, that don't have nothing to do with nothing. And a straight quick weave and a straight sew-in is something they have been wearing before all of this Love Island stuff. A quick weave and a sew-in is something that black women have been wearing forever. Like, what? Like, I'm so confused. Y'all so worried about somebody's hair. Olandria even talked about, she was on TikTok live. She was like, I saw y'all was getting on me about my braids. I knew they was nappy. Olandria, them braids was not nappy. Don't let them people bully you into thinking your hair was looking bad. Your hair was still looking good. It's just that, you had it for 6 weeks. I know, see, Olandria, she like to switch up her hair. She like to switch it up. Now, before I move on from the Love Island category, I want to give props to not just this one person, but I want to give props to all of the people that defended my clients, Chelly and Olandria, during their time in the villa. Black women, black people. It was people of different races. It was, the people that, stand Shelandria. I enjoyed being a part of the community. I'm still a part of the community. I'm still in the house. I enjoy seeing everyone come together to defend these women. But I have to give credit where credit is due, props where props is due. I have to give my flowers to EJ. On his TikTok is EJ Taylor's D1 Hater. His videos came across my For You page of him defending Chelly and Olandria, and he is doing something that black women have wanted black men to do forever, and that is defend them. EJ, he went to bat for Chelly, Olandria, Serena, Janae, when they couldn't, because they don't have their phones. They can't defend themselves. He was defending them down every day, every episode. It got to the point where his original TikTok page got banned because Huda defenders were mass reporting it. Like, it got to the point where he made a second TikTok. His TikTok got more followers. The second TikTok got more followers than the original one. And his Instagram got banned because the Huda defenders banned his Instagram. So he had to make a new Instagram. I think if you're willing to put your accounts on the line, how you make money, how you get your business out there, because EJ is a musical artist. He lost his Instagram and his TikTok because he was defending black women. Like, if you put your accounts on the line to defend people that can't defend themselves, you got something in my book. Like, these people were coming after these women 24/7. Like, it didn't stop. And if you look at his videos or on his Twitter, he literally was calling everybody out. Everybody that aided in the hate, everybody that aided in the comments, people that was reporting his page, people that was messaging him. Like, he was going hard. So I want to give my props to him. for defending these women. He was like the ringleader in defending them, in my opinion. Based on what I've seen, I ain't just in my opinion. I want to say that's the truth, based on what I saw. We're moving on to Love is Blind. Now I watched Love is Blind. But I've watched Love is Blind since the beginning, since the first season came out. But I don't really watch the press for Love is Blind. Like, I just follow the people. Like, I don't really watch the press for Love is Blind, so I can't talk about what the other black women on this show have talked about in the past. I try to find something. I don't really find nothing, like, from the other seasons. But one thing about AD from season 6 of Love is Blind, she was over sexualized the whole season of Love is Blind. Like, she's bad now. She bad. But her main edit was about her body. I mean, Clay kind of aided in that because he wanted to know her, like what she physically was like when they were in the pods, and then when she came down the aisle, the first thing he said to her was, "Okay, body." Nah. And they made fun of her looks on TikTok. I remember that they was making fun of her lashes, making fun of her hair. Like, don't do my sis. That's what I have for Love is Blind. Just, they talking about, like, that's one thing these people just want to talk about looks day in and day out. So what? I can't change the color of my skin. I can't change the texture of my hair. I can't change that. I cannot. As much as you think I might want to, or as much as you want me to change it, it's nothing I can do to fix that. That's how God made me. Real Housewives. And we're specifically gonna talk about we're gonna talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And so we're gonna start off with Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's the most successful and it's the longest running franchise of the Real Housewives. And it's the only one with a predominantly black cast. We in ATL. I'm so ATL. Get in there. This is important. We're showing black women in luxury spaces, that black women can be, housewives and have, healthy relationships and big homes and live in these high sedity areas and live high sedity lives. However, the tropes that happen on Real Housewives of Atlanta is the angry black woman, the diva, the Jezebel, and then the strong black woman. Sick and tired of each and every one of them. Sick and tired. Each and every one of these tropes and stereotypes. I don't gotta explain the angry black woman. We know. We already know. The diva, she's high maintenance, she's materialistic. We have the Jezebel, she's over sexualized, she's messy in relationships. And then we have the strong black woman. She got to carry everything and everyone else, and she can't even take care of herself. Real Housewives of Atlanta had, it seems like, over the years, or maybe even in the beginning, it was made to adapt to white audiences and stuff like that. It was very memeified and ghetto, everyone want to say is, it was just a little ghetto, just a little bit. Some instances, the show been going on for so long, some of the people been on there for so long, people were saying that Cynthia Bailey was born because she wasn't really like doing the angry black woman trope. Like, that's what I've seen in my research and stuff like that. And people were also saying that, Real Housewives of Atlanta, it just doesn't show all black women in a positive light. I think reality TV, they have to keep it entertaining. They have to keep clicking. There has to be messy values. I think Real Housewives of Atlanta does show that black women can be business owners. They can, live in these high sedity lives and lifestyles. I just think Bravo just always does it wrong. Like, I feel like Bravo just does us dirty. Like, even with Candy's daughter being on this new show, it's like Generation, it's like New York Generation or something, or Next Generation. Like, she's the only black woman on this all like pretty much white cast, and they giving her the villain edit on there. I don't watch that, and I haven't watched Real Housewives of Atlanta, so I can't really give a whole lot of context to what they're saying in these articles, but I've seen the clips of Candy's daughter on that show, and they just give her the blues. They just always make these people got to be the villain. Now, Baddies. I think Zeus Network as a whole, for real, we're gonna talk about Baddies on here. Baddies really leans into that angry black woman trope, and into that Jezebel trope, strong black woman trope. You know, it shows that these women are combative, that they're, you know, over sexualized, high emotional, you know, people, human beings. And physical altercations are the central of Baddies, of these shows. You know, that physical aspect overshadows, you know, personality and just regular achievement of your business or your music or your modeling, whatever these women are into. I don't watch Baddies because I just don't. That's not my thing. That's just not my thing. That's just not me. So like if I fight somebody or if I fight somebody that I don't have beef with, I'm gonna get a baddie chain. So that's rewarding this very physical, aggressive behavior. Like if I fight this girl, I'm gonna get a baddie chain. And like even when they do the audition episodes, like these women are coming off the street to fight. Like literally 2 people could be auditioning for a spot. They gotta fight each other to see who win and get the spot. Again, rewarding this excessive, but this aggressive behavior. I just think the show lacks positivity. Like, I don't watch it, but I mean, I've seen the clips, I've seen the arguments. Them people that's on there be genuinely hurting. Those people that be on these shows like Baddies, like, what's it, not WeTV. Is it Now TV? It's not WeTV. What's it, is it? Even Love and Hip Hop, that's VH1. So like VH1, Zeus, them type of shows, like it's no good. It just, them people be hurting. Those people be having family issues. Like I know Krishan and her sister, they was talking about they hurt their how they was brought up on Baddies, and it's just like, oh my gosh, like no, these people need to see a therapist. Bad Girls Club, like these people need help. These people are hurting inside, and they need help. They need assistance on how to be better people. And people are making money off their pain. That's what I don't like about it. And it's like, that's really how we're being represented. Like, that's how black women are being represented. We're going to talk about the Bachelor Nation, with Rachel being the first black bachelorette. I watched Rachel's season of The Bachelorette. It was the first season of The Bachelorette. Anything Bachelor Nation I have ever seen. My mom was like, guys, they're going to have a black Bachelorette. And we watched the intro video when they all come up in the limousines and stuff. And mom was like, no, like, we should watch this. Rachel goes on record saying that she felt intense pressure to be the good black girl. You know, she was the exceptional woman that broke all of these things. Like she was, you know, the first black bachelorette. Like she felt like she had to be like a princess, essentially. She felt like she had to be on her P's and Q's. She felt like she needed to change herself to be accepted by this white audience. Because I mean, if there was no black women before, then this was a white audience. Bachelor Nation. She said she felt like she was She said she felt like she was a token until she took the steps to make sure she wasn't seen that way. And she also described that the producers made her plot lines be race focused. It wasn't just about, you know, love. She felt like her blackness was on display, and they leaned into different stereotypes with her being the angry black woman. Now, when I watched this show, when I watched The Bachelorette with Rachel, I didn't feel like they was labeling her as the angry black woman, but then again, that was like a decade ago, for real. But I'm sure she endured a lot of hate. I'm sure the live tweets that they did, like I'm sure them people stepped on her day in and day out. With Rachel, I just think, I think that when you think about the treatment of black women on reality TV, a lot of it is we are held to a higher standard than our counterparts. We are held at higher standards. We're always not going to be deemed as good enough. We're always going to be deemed as lower. We're always going to be low. We're not going to be, up here. And that applies to every one of these shows. That applies to Chelly and Olandria, when you think about what they did compared to what Huda called Jeremiah, what Huda did to Chris. If a black woman did that, if a black man did the things that Huda did, they would be cooked deep fried. When you think about the hate that these people are receiving, that would never happen to their counterpart. Like, when you talk about the treatment of black women on reality TV, it's like we always get done dirty. We always get the villain edit, the angry black woman edit. We'll always get put in a box that we shouldn't be put in now. My plan is to go into film. It's not to go into reality TV. But if I was given the opportunity to be a producer on a show, a dating show, a Big Brother, a Bachelor, a Bachelorette, a Bachelor Nation show, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that my people are shown in the respective light. Now, Chelly and Olandria, they were yelling. They were, voicing their opinions, their emotions. But I'll make sure they walk away with everything being shown. Not just them going off on the people that they felt like they needed to be going off on. When Real Housewives of Atlanta happens, and they going off on each other and they calling each other this and that and the third, I'm going to make sure that everything is shown. I'm not it's like the editing. It comes down to editing. And a lot of this is delusion. Like the Huda defenders, they are living in delusion. Even some of the black people that were hating on Chelly and Olandria, what are y'all doing? Why are y'all attacking these women? I just think that nobody should be attacked. I don't know. I think that no one should be attacked. I think if I didn't do anything that would land me in jail or prison, I shouldn't be attacked for it. That's just me. That's just me. I think that if I did everything that abides by the law, if I didn't do nothing that, put hurt on somebody's family, on somebody's community, stuff like that, I don't think I should be attacked. I don't know. I don't think I should be attacked because of how God brought me into the world. Like, these people are held to a higher standard. We get put in boxes and we get attacked because we were born black. I do think that these conversations should continue to be had. We should keep pointing out stuff like this, the divide and stuff like this. I think that if we fight for change, we'll get change. Maybe we'll be able to see a difference between the way black women are treated on reality TV. Maybe we might get a positive show. Maybe we might. We'll see. Maybe I might make a second video, a second part to this. Maybe we might do this a series. We talk about the positive black shows, black reality TV shows. We'll do that. We'll make that. We'll see if we can do that. Talk about the shows that, show us positively. I might go ahead and just do that. Y'all want it next week? Leave your comments, your questions, your concerns. Leave your opinions. Huda defenders, if they find this video, please, I promise, don't comment. Please, I promise, don't comment. Like, please, I'm begging. Baby, I'm begging. But, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode of Trading Unscripted. I know I did. I know it was a little serious, a little heartbreaking, a little heart-wrenching topic, but I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all week and see you next time. Bye.